YouTube, TroyStarz Trucking. Thanks for tuning in. So in this video, it's gonna be a bit different from my regular and normal videos, right? And why I said different, it's gonna be more, it's gonna relate to trucking, but it's gonna be from the trucking topic for a while. I'm just gonna bring you back. I'm gonna let you guys know who I am. I did cover this video already in a couple of videos, you know what I mean? I did do a video how I leave Jamaica. In that video, I talk much about what happened, throughout, you know, me coming up to be at this position where I'm at the moment. But this is just like a recap, basically, and also to highlight for those who may not come across that video as yet, right? Who is TroyStarz?
For more videos like this, please subscribe.
It's not gonna be so much of depth in detail because I will do an in-depth everything detailed video as soon as I get into a vibes like the vibes I'm in now. I will definitely do one, right? But for this video, I just want to cover how all of this gets started and where I'm coming from with the passion that I'm striving with. So maybe you want to hear this or not, but stick around, you will understand what I mean. How I got started. I'm gonna basically give you guys some rundown of who I am and how most of where my passion basically is coming from, where the angle that I'm going with this, you know what I mean? What I hope to achieve, and what is my long-term plan, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna so much get into what my long-term plan is to be exact, but it's just something that you guys can understand where this is going. Okay, so this is it. Everyone know I'm a Jamaican. For those who didn't know, I'm just saying it again. But yeah, born Jamaican. I'm born into a parish of Portland. Portland is one of the parish of Jamaica. Then I moved to Kingston I don't even remember the age, but I was young, maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere like that. And I live in Portmore, that would be Brayton, phase 2 Brayton. I just said that to say this. Throughout my childhood coming up, I start off my life with my grandmother. She's the one that raised me in Portland because that's where my mother comes from. And when she migrate to the US, she was doing that nurse thingy that you take care of old people, and she was older herself, but she was doing that job that she taking care of old people and stuff like that, right? And she, I have to say rest in peace to my grandma. She's the one that basically grew me. She's the one that teach me how to deal with people, teach me that being yourself and being manageable, you know what I mean, will take you far away, you know what I mean? She also teach me look out for others. She also tell me not to be selfish. She also let me know because at one point when I remember going to primary school and class parties, that little thing that they keep, fair or fet or whatnot, they keep at the school. And I wanted new shoes like my friends, to go at the fair and go at the fete. And she looked at me and she said, listen, if you can't afford the shoes, what are you going to do? Are you going to let that shoes stop you from go to the fete? Are you going to sit here and all your friends enjoy themselves and you there worrying about the shoes? So she was saying as soon as so she was telling me to wear my same shoes that I wear for school. And, we as young boy, we don't want that because girls involved and all the other friends and stuff having new shoes, new bag, this, that, gonna wear new, everything new coming out of, looking good, and I'm the same old, you know what I mean? But she basically tell me, you can go with what you have, satisfied with what you have. Not just think about what your friends are gonna come to school with. Think about that you are gonna be there and you're gonna enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? She didn't say it in so many words, but that's basically what she meant. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to the fair. I was feeling kind of down going to the school fair and stuff like that with all my friends in their Superman shoes and bag and all that. And You know what I mean? Running up and down and stuff like that. Anyway, I walk to school. When I get there, I realize that when I get through the gate, even though I was wearing my same shoes and my same pants that everyone known, basically, the attention was on me as a person in a sense where no one cared about what I was wearing, only me. You know what I mean? Everyone they just happy I'm there because I'm like a vibes person at that point. I was always, I don't know, I was always just running jokes, just always, have something to say to make, the whatever laugh, right? So they were more happy to see me than to acknowledge if I'm wearing this or if I'm wearing that. I was the only person that was holding back myself in a sense where I want this to go, and if I don't get this, I cannot go, and I feel some type of way because I'm watching what someone else is gonna say about what's going on. Anyway, at that age, no one didn't even care. You know what I mean? No, I just go back to that because I want to get to a point. So I want to start the conversation from here, right? Now, this is it. I know most of you guys may go through a similar situation like me, and you may not even been through the situation that I've been through. So I'm gonna give you a recap of where I was to how I really get here in the position that I'm at the moment, right? I was locked up before. Maybe most of you guys, this may sound surprised to you guys. The TroyStarz got locked up. Yes, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Police came, take everyone. I was coming from work, basically. But I have no work ID. I have nothing like that to prove anything. And I don't know what took place before I get to the location that I was. And they take everyone. Now, I was in locked up, and basically even if they wrongfully, I'm not going to say even wrongfully, even if they lock you up and accuse you of something, or accuse the entire group that you're around, you're in, of something, at the end of the day, for you to get out of the lockup, you will need to get bail. And bail would basically meaning that someone have to present something to get you out, right? And let me tell you, it wasn't easy for me to get out, even though I was coming from work, right? And I was in locked up for over a month, right? And to me, in being locked up, let me realize the type of friends that was in my surrounding, right? Because I didn't see any of the ones that I'm not dealing with now at the moment, to give me a visit at the lockup or to try to help me to get out. Because my parents, because at that point my grandmother was, I don't know if she was still alive. I think she had died, I think so. But I don't remember. Yeah, I think she passed away. But I didn't have anyone to bail me out, right? Like to get me out from the lockup. And I have friends that could have do it, but I mean they choose not to, right? But anyway, that was my, I'm not gonna say fault, but that was my way of understanding where I am or where I'm at. You know what I mean? I was there over lockup, I think maybe 3 weeks to a month. I'm not sure how long it was because it was a good time away. But nevertheless, I was there, right? And that gave me a lot of time to think. So I'm gonna give you a recap of what happened, just a little piece of what happened when I was in locked up before I get to the real point that I want to get to, right? Now, when I get to lockup, mind you, I was a driver for a company, right? And when I get locked up, when I walked into where they're gonna put me in whatever cell or whatever it may be, and I have to take my belt out and stuff like that. When I get there, right, I did have some funds on me. I have like, I think it was 5,000 Jamaican dollars. That would be 50 Canadian dollars. That's what I had on me at the time when they maybe it was my pay. I'm not sure, but I had that money on me. So when I get to lock up, they you know, you have to take your belt out, your shoes, lace, and stuff like that, and you have to give it to the police officer or whatnot, right? But in that situation, the person that was taking all my stuff from me asked me if I want to keep the money. So I was saying to myself, keep the money to do what? Because I mean, nothing is up there to buy. And he said, well, you're gonna need it. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll keep it. So when he gave me back, he said, so can you leave a thing with me? Now, mark you, this is my first time getting locked up. I don't know what to expect, right? A bunch of things running through my head because, I mean, I was now thinking about fighting and stuff like that because, you know, we saw it on TV and stuff like that. So my heart was pounding. So I'm like, okay, all right, you may can struggle with you may can try to fight 3 person, but when it comes to 4, might as well you just take the beating that, I mean, that is gonna come your way. Now, to escape from that type of thing, you have to now start making your links from early, because you know that's how the thing is. So he asked me to leave a thing with him. I'm like, okay, so I give him $1,000. That would be like a $10 Canadian, right? And going upstairs, because it was upstairs. I got locked up in Offer Tree, and that is in Kingston, Jamaica, right? And I went upstairs. So they put me upstairs, and when I was upstairs, the person that was, he's also a person that get locked up, is himself, but he was there too, like taking me to put me into where I should go, you know what I mean? So he said I should leave a thing with him too. So I don't know if it's a connection from downstairs that he know that I have some money on me or whatnot, right? So he said to leave a thing, so I give him $500, so that would be $5 Canadian, right? So I give him that, and he put me into a cell. Like when he put me in, he said, in Jamaican words, he said, "My youth," you know. Oh, you say this in Canada, in Canada now. He's my boy, like, you know, he's a family or something, you know what I mean? That's what he said when he put me in. So when I was there, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 person in the cell. So right away, I'm outnumbered if it comes down to anything. But I'm gonna get to the point, right? I'm outnumbered if it get to anything. But I was overthinking everything. I'm just thinking, right? Now, I remember sitting in there thinking about what to say, why I'm been what to say in there, or how to think, you know what I mean? Because you know you go into a place like that, you have to be tough, right? You have to, I mean, show that you're not weak, because there's no way you can go into a lockup with any weak thing. So you have to be like ready for anything, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm nervous as hell. I hear the rules, because you know they have rules in there where you have to take your shoes off. You can't walk inside the cell with no shoes. You can this that you know what I mean? The newspaper is your sheet, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So it's a process. Anyway, continue. I remember sitting right through the night, sitting just looking, because I don't know what to do. Even because there's some older guy was in there, and they were saying, young boy, you can you know, that's your section, you can sleep right there, you know what I mean? But it's concrete, right? But I have newspaper to put on the concrete and stuff like that. But I was just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get out of this, or oh, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, get to go home and stuff like that. But I'm just there thinking, and mind you, I am the breadwinner for the family at that time, you know what I mean? I'm doing my part, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna attach the video what I was talking about my family and stuff like that in the description, or I'm gonna leave a link up above, so that you guys can click on it and see where I'm coming from with the family side of it, so you can see, because I don't want to put everything in this because it's gonna be that long, right? When I was in the locked up, or there sitting thinking about what tomorrow is gonna be, what I'm gonna do, you know what I mean? I was just thinking. Then while I was there, in the morning come, and I'm still not sleeping, still looking out, still just sitting on the concrete area, still looking, thinking. Anyway, in the morning, there's a they have a guy that came every, I think it was Monday, Wednesday, and something to clean, to take away the garbage. He's the janitor. That's what I call those people. The person that cleaned the place. He's not a prisoner. He's a, well, not prison. He's not locked up. He just come there, clean the area when all the grills are closed. So you will be free on the corridor area, like, to take out the garbage and stuff like that and stuff. Anyway, I was there sitting down looking, and I remember the guy said, "Who is that?" So he shouted out my company name that I work for. And I'm like, I look over and I saw him, and he's like, you don't remember me? I'm like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? So he said, you are the guy. So he said to a person in the cell that I was in that he's the guy. Right there, I'm worried now, because I'm not know what he's talking about. I'm the guy. So in that case, if I'm the guy, maybe I did something wrong, right? But only and behold, I know I don't say that word right, but anyway, I'm working with it. That guy was basically what they have him do is buy food from outside, like that would be guys in the cell that have money and stuff like that. They will give him the money, and he will buy the food and come back with it and give it to the guys in the lockup. So you will eat on the outside. You will get all type of food on the outside to come in, right? So anyway, when I was at work, but this is not in the cell. I'm going to tell you what he's talking about. So when I was at work, I remember one morning I have this special place that I go to buy breakfast every morning when I'm driving out, because I have my assistant with me. I'm the driver, and we driving out because I used to do sales, right? So I would buy breakfast at a specific area every morning. So I always go there, and I always give a lot of jokes. I always give a lot of trouble and stuff like that. But I'm still buying my breakfast to leave because I have a long journey to go. Well, a long journey in our time in Jamaica, miles. Anyway, I remember went into the restaurant on a I think it was a Thursday or Wednesday, something like that. And that same guy bought 3 or 4 box food in the breakfast thingy. And when they serve him the 4 food, he have the 4 food and was looking for the money to pay the bill for the food that he have in his hand, right? At that point, I don't know him. I didn't know him. I didn't know anything about him or whatnot. But I drove up. It was a place called Chicken and Ting in Arthur Tree. Maybe some guys don't know this who are familiar with Arthur Tree. It's a place called Chicken and Ting. It was right across from the Esso gas station. You could look across and see it, right? So when I pull up there and I saw him digging up himself looking for the money to pay for the food, I said, don't worry, I'll cover it. I don't know him, right? But he was there digging up, looking, and he had the food in his hand and stuff like that, and he was looking, putting back down the food and searching himself. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll deal with it. So I just paid for the 4 food, and he looked at me and said, thanks, respect. And he was still looking. I'm like, everything good, you know what I mean? Everything is okay. So I pay for it. Anyway, I order my food and my assistant food, and we take our food and we leave and we go. So that what he remembered when I was in the lockup. Now, you see where this is going. Now, I was in the lockup and he said, that is the guy. So basically, he was explaining to them someone that paid for the food when he was looking for the money. But what happened now, the money wasn't lost. He leave the money that he was supposed to take from the guy in the cell to go buy the food. So when he went there, he buy the food, came back, but didn't. He was looking for the money that he didn't even take. So that was the story that I heard. So what happened now is he were explaining to them that someone paid for the food and whatnot. So it so happened that I get to reach in the same cell that I pay for the food for the guys that was in there that sent you understand where I'm coming from, guy to go and buy, right? Now, right there, that's when I get my first kind of ratings, if you understand what I mean. But goes to show you that when you do good, good will follow, right? Then now he start buying food from me. He buy I give him money to buy cigarettes, because in there cigarette smoke a lot, believe it or not, in there. So what happened now? I don't smoke and I don't drink, right? So I sent him to go. The guy informed me that was in there. There was an older guy. I think his name was Mr. Brown. He informed me to send the guy to buy cigarette, and we can sell the cigarette in there, and we can make money to buy food and stuff like that. I was like, okay. So inside the lockup, one cigarette was for $50, right? That would be how much Canadian that would be? 5 cents, a dime, a quarter, I don't know. But anyway, one cigarette was for $50 in there, $50 Jamaican, right? Out in the street, I think 150 cent. Out in the street, I think one cigarette was for maybe $15, $20. I'm not sure, because I never used to smoke, so I don't know. But I know the price is like triple or double in there. So what guys would do would come and buy like half of cigarette for $25, right? Some guy would trust, like take cigarette from me, and then when the visit come, when they get visit, they will get money and they will come and pay their bill. So I normally don't give over $100, right? In loans for cigarette, because so they used to come buy cigarette, they used to come and trade. So if a person have a new soap, new slippers, new rags, stuff like that, they would trade cigarette for those items. So in my cell, it used to be like a Troy haberdashery, and that would mean I have everything in there. So sometimes guys come in there without, they're not getting any visit, they don't have any rag, any toothbrush, any stuff like that. I could give it to them, right? So that's the type of thing I get to. I can say more, but other people are in there now, so I'm not gonna reveal everything that really happened. But that's what happened, and that's how my thing came to work out, right? When I finally get bail, I'm gonna tell you how I did get bail. When I finally get bail, I leave over $8,000 in there, and I came out on the road with $3,000 just to get myself home, right? How I get out was the judge just throw away because they didn't have anything on me or whatnot and stuff like that. So the judge just released me. The judge tell them to release me, let me go, whatnot, because because I get bail, but I couldn't get out, right? Because there's no one to bail me, right? So I have to stay there and hope for the best. Now I lose my job because I was out for a month or so. Didn't go back to work, didn't report to anyone, anything. So I lost my job. So when I get out, I was, trying to get back something to do now and stuff like that. So it was hard, basically, on my side. And thinking about in there, can't get out, stuff like that. But anyway, I just say that just to let you know. Sometimes when you do stuff for people, you really and truly just do it from your heart, right? So I know most of you guys will see me come here and talking about stuff that I've done and what it turned out to be and stuff like that. But that is a part of the experience that I'm going through, and I promise you guys to tell you my experience that I'm going through. And I know that is one of the reasons why most of you guys subscribe to my channel, because you want to have an understanding how to do what you're doing, where to go, what route to take, so that you don't go through the same loops that I did. So this is like a gateway for anyone that would want to take on this type of career, so to speak, right? Now let me continue. So I just covered that part. So I'm continuing now with me talking to you now, okay? Sometimes it doesn't really matter the situation that you're in, right? Sometimes the situation that you're in, it don't reflect you. Don't let the situation that you're in at the moment be the type of vibes to hold you back or to hold you down. Try to listen. Helping and giving is the ideal thing. Your blessing will follow and it will come flowing, right? I lost a lot, yes. I give away a lot too, right? And I also receive a lot. So why am I saying this? I'm gonna get back to when I just came here, when I get the opportunity to come to Canada, right? So when I get the opportunity to come to Canada, I leave Jamaica. Like I said, we had a bill to pay at the last part of when I got through with the work permit and stuff like that. There was a $650 fee that the agent that I was going through at the time, they call it settlement fee or something like that. So that would cost someone will carry around to get your bank, open a bank account, get your card, your SIM card thingy, and get you a phone and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That what they call that $650 thing for. I couldn't come up with that money, so I have to borrow my rent, borrow back the rent that I give my mom to pay the rent. I have to borrow it back. I borrow my friend rent money too. I did a lot of borrowing, you know what I mean, to pay that $650. And then I think I came here with, I don't remember how much money I came on the plane with. But when I packed my bag, my uncle, he did farm work in the US. So he gave me a jacket. It's a good thing that he gave me that jacket, right? Because the clothes that I put in the bag wasn't even, I don't know what to say. It was so thin that even the fan itself blow through that clothes, I would be freezing. So when I came to Canada and I came off the plane and I'm like, hold on, so they turn on the AC in the sky, you know what I mean? It was extremely cold. So I have to go for my jacket. But I'm not straying away from the point. It's just that I'm saying this. When I actually came here, I only came here with, I think it was $20. 20 Canadian dollars, I think, I came to Canada with. Now, where am I going with $20? What $20 can do? So I have no money coming in all the way. So I was the only person leaving. I was leaving with a friend of mine, Bernardo Sinclair. But I meet him at the airport coming up, right? Bernardo Sinclair. So it was the older guy for me, and we travel. Even up to now, me and Bernardo Sinclair, we are still friends. We call each other and stuff like that. Older guy for me. He used to work for Superplus in St. Elizabeth. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I came to the school in Castlegar, I meet the other guys that I always talk about, like Bramley, Carl Reed, New York, right? A guy I call New York. I don't remember it. Rowan. Rowan, I call him New York, right? Basil, and who else? Anyway, those are the people I can remember. Lester. I have a friend of mine by the name of Lester. He's working for Arnold Brothers now. But anyway, I went there and I only have $20 on me, and right there and then I'm start thinking now, okay, I have $20. So what I'm gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna continue on this journey. Anyway, that $20 take me a far away, because I was at that school for 3 weeks, I think. But anyway, the place that we were staying, we had to pay $300 to stay at that location. That was like a rent for the building that we were at, right? So we have to pay that money to the school that we were training to drive, right? So Bramley, like I said, let's go back. So how I started living with just $20. What happened? So $20 could carry me through. So this is what I've done. When the guys cook, I wash every single plate, every pot. I keep the house clean. I sweep every morning. You know what I mean? I make sure the place is. I push the trolley in the supermarket. I take the loads out by hand. Listen, if you know anyone that know me and was at the school, they can tell you I have no money, but I do everything else around what's going on. I can't wait until someone finish eat to get the plate to wash it. You know what I mean? That's how I was going, pushing through. To tell you I have no money to do anything else. I can't even put towards cooking. I can't put towards nothing. You know what I mean? No money whatsoever to help out. And you know, if you're pulling together and you're there as a group, you everyone, you know, you have to put towards the bill when they're going to buy food, put towards, you have to do something, but I have no money, right? So the only thing I could lay back to is not being there and be like, you know what, I have no money and I'm still rich. I find things to do, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, I have some story for that. I would have to talk that part in a different case. I don't want to stray away from the point that I want to get to. But yeah, that's how I survived with the $20. So when the striking news came that we have to pay our $300 for rent for the place that we were staying, that would be the house that they gave us to stay while we were going to school, right? I didn't have that $300, right? I mentioned it. One time I mentioned it, like, you know what, I don't have that $300 to pay Andy, because the owner for the school was Andy. And Bramley, I know Bramley from nowhere. I only saw Bramley there when I was there I saw Bramley in Toronto. Bramley is a guy from St. Elizabeth also. He worked for Super Plus too, right? Used to. So Bramley is the one that said, you know what, I have $300, I can lend you $300 to pay your rent, and you can pay me back whenever you get the chance to. Now let me tell you this right now. Remember, none of us are not working. We're just there on the trading before we don't even know what company or what the place look like. We're just there. And for someone to take up their $300, 300 Canadian dollars, it's not 300 Jamaican, 300 Canadian dollars, and give it to me and said I should pay it back whenever I get the chance. You don't normally find those type of things. So up to today, me and Bramley is still that type of link. You know what I mean? And I can't wait for the day for Bramley to reach out to me and say, Troy, I need help doing this. It's the fastest I would ever lend or give anything. That's all my thing is. If you help me, I know that's not the narrative that people want to say. Like, it's not who help you, you help. You will get the help back from or stuff like that. People always have a tendency to say this, but it's just a mindset, right? If you decided that you want to help a person that really help you, you can do it. So don't sit around and be like, oh, the person helped me. You will get back help from someone else. That being like, I mean, if you're in a position to help the person, help. You know what I mean? Or try your best to do anything just to compensate, just to polish off, just to show your appreciation. That's how I try to live, right? Now I'm getting to my point. So Bramley gave me that $300. Yes, I did pay back Bramley his $300 fast as I could, right? And I did, and I can't say thank you enough. Even to now, he doesn't even look at it. He doesn't even remember. But I remember every time I talk to him, I remember. Every time I remember him, I remember. You know what I mean? Because that's a big deal for me. You know what I mean? I don't even leave Jamaica with $300. Where am I going to get $300 from? You know what I mean? But anyway, it happened, right? Now, I see where I come through to... Okay, so that point that I bring up, I just bring that point up to let you guys know. I get help. So I have no problem to try to help out someone if they're in the situation. Because I'm just thinking, you know the situation that you're in. You reach out to someone. And I know when people reach out to me, they didn't reach out to me because they couldn't reach out to no one. How can I say this? When people reach out to me, I was the first one they reach out to. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not the first one they call and said, Troy, I'm in this spot, or Troy, I'm in this position, Troy, whatever. I'm not the first person they call. They call around. And maybe they'll say, you know what, let me just ask Troy to see what's going on. And the moment you ask and that person take it up on themselves to say, you know what, I'm going to try to see what I can do. Remember, everyone have bills. It's not like everybody have money put down and be like, okay, when someone come, I'm going to lend this money. This is my lending money. No one have that type of thing going on. And well, if someone do have that type of thing going on, I don't know them. And I never heard of them before, right? So when someone, the point that I'm getting to right now, when someone go out of their way to do something for you, and this is a message to you guys that is listening, right? When someone take the time out to lend you their hard working money, right? Remember, it doesn't come free. We all know that money do not come free. You have to work for it, right? Unless you're a thief or something. But either that, thieves still have to work out. Their job is really life-lasting job. Anyway, when someone, because something you have to remember, the channel and the route that you go through to be in this situation. So let me talk about me first. If someone go out of their way to lend me their own money that they work for, I'm not doing anything to mess up or to try to sabotage that type of friendship or that type of person. Before I even pay my other bills that I have, because we both have bills, I'm going to pay back that person that lend me that money. I may not have the money, all of the money at the same time, but I'm going to keep that person. Like, every chance I get, I'm going to call and be like, listen, I know I promised you to give you back by Friday, but this is what happened. And I'm going to send you half of it. And then next week, Friday, I'm going to send you the rest. Tell the person what you're going through at the time. Do not hide from your phone, not answering, and decide not to pay back the person. Like, you're basically mashing up or hurting someone else to save yourself, because you were in a hurt position when that person turned up to help you. And then the moment you get help and you get out, your heart is now clear and you're now free, your rent and your bills are paying. And that person that lent you the money need it back, and you decide to hide, you decide to not pay it back, you decide to be tricky, you decide to find some way out of this world story, and then, try to, what I mean? That's not the way you should live your life. My motto is, and take it from me if you want, my motto is, if you know the struggle that you went through before you could get the loan or whatever to borrow, I know you maybe go through the bank, they said no. You go to your family, they said no. You go to your, she said no. You go to your wife, she said no. You go to, and you sit down and you're thinking, and you said, who can I? And then you take your phone up and you call a friend and you be like, I'm going through this situation and I would like if you could help me. And that friend, like, is a godsend, said, what type of situation? Okay, I can maybe lend you this, and you try to see if you can. And you said, okay, yes, thank you. I'm going to pay you back such and such. Listen, that is the person you're not supposed to violate. That is the person that you're not supposed to turn your back on. That's the person. Listen, let me talk to you real now. That type of person or that type of friend is the friend that you want to keep in your circle. That is the friend that can save you in the future of life. Come in. Trust me. Sometimes some guys are so stupid. They break up the link, the real link that they have that would... Okay. See, I want to say so much. No, this is it. When you have someone that would look out for you, or that person that was there for you, you keep that person close, right? Keep that person as a friend that you tell yourself that, you know what? If I'm in this situation, I'm sure about that person that I can call. Sometimes you may call a person and you may not have it, but you know within yourself that if he have that funds or whatever you ask, he would have. Because you see no problem in lending you again, because you're paying back what you had borrowed before. And that's how you build solid, concrete relationship. So I'm going to tell you this. I have a couple of friends that are here in Canada, because I'm always not like have it like I'm always have money put down. No. Let me tell you this right now. Bernardo Sinclair, the same guy that I'm talking about. I borrowed $3,000 from Bernardo already. Paid him back. He also go ahead and I bail him out. I don't know how much, but I bailed him out on something already, and he paid me back. You know what I mean? I know Barrington Williams. I know he lent me money already. I lend him money already. I know Mikey, one of my drivers right now, that is driving his own truck under my company as an owner operator. Him, what Mikey done for me, and let me talk about this now, because I'm just going to tell you about how my life is and why I try to keep these people in my circle, right? Mikey, when I just bought my Volvo truck in 2017, Mikey was a company driver for the company that he was working for. And when someone take it up on themselves to say, you know what, let me report TroyStarz because he didn't get through with his PR yet and he buy a truck. Let me call in on him. And I get an email that said, listen, we were informed, because this is what the email said, we were informed. And now when someone said it was informed, that means somebody tell them. Anyway, we were informed that you're no longer working at such and such and you need to get yourself back in. Mikey, take leave. Listen to me now. This is also another person that I just talked to on the phone. I just know him here when I came here. He take leave, from vacation leave at that, from his workplace, and run my truck until everything was cool on my side. Yes, he did park it a bit early, but he run that truck for maybe 3 weeks or a month. And I could have enough money to pay my truck loans and stuff like that. And while I was doing the other work where I was, I'm gonna leave that video down in the description. I'm not gonna tell you who was driving the truck, but I'm gonna leave the video, what I was talking about, in the description of this video. I'm gonna leave it at the top here. But Mikey did that. Now, you think I'm gonna mess up that type of link? You think I'm gonna do anything to jeopardize that type of friendship or that type of realness coming from someone? No, right now me and Mikey is still I'm talking about 3 years ago. He did that. And now Mikey is under my company, running his truck as an owner operator. My truck, I'm gonna show you his truck. My name is on the side of his truck door and stuff like that. And we are pulling together. Those are the type of link you need in your circle, especially when you're in an area or a place where you're on your own, basically. You have to stick together. You have to have those type of people in your circle. So the point that I'm getting to, because I still haven't even get to my point, I'm just telling you guys how to manage your life. You know what I mean? How to manage your life. This is the next thing that I'm going to say to you guys. Sometimes a person may think because they don't have the education that they think they should have, they're stuck and they can't move, because you may can't spell a word that good, you may can't read that good, you may can't pronounce a couple words that well, so you use that to hold you back. Listen, let me tell you this right now, and this is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. You know what I mean? You may think you're not intelligent enough, you may think you're not smart enough, you may think your weakness is right there and this is what holding you back. But let me tell you this, there are other ways to be smart, there are other ways to use your knowledge, there are other ways to create your path. Because some of you guys meet some excellent and brilliant girls or women. Even for the woman, meet some brilliant guys that is really interested in them, for them. You meet a girl that is interested in you, for you. You even a friend, a good friend that you know went to college and stuff like that. Now, where I'm getting to? This is where I'm getting to. You don't have to go around and tell everyone that, you know what, I can't read so good and I can't spell and I can't write and I can't. If you have a good friend or if you have a good girlfriend, she will fill out that form for you. She will go through the stuff that you can't manage. Him will help you to write your resume. Him will fill out or take it to them. They will help you. That person you keep close, because most of the time, I'm going to tell you this, most of the time the person that can't really do the things that you have a weakness on is always sometimes the person with the most money. I want to say this again. Sometimes the person that saying to themselves, I wish I had this subject and I wish I had that knowledge and I wish I could, they are the person that have the most money at times. The person that went to college, the person that is extremely smart, and the person that is, you within yourself that don't have that end up lending that person that you think should be, more than bigger than where you are. Now with that type of, it's like you're, okay. All right. I'm just gonna put it in one word. Like a company, a building, let's say, like a building, right? You have a building, you own a building. Now the building itself cannot do nothing to survive. The building itself cannot pay its own bills. The building itself cannot do anything because someone else can own it. It can be dismantled. You can lose it, or what? That building cannot do nothing. But what you do to let that building survive? You get a manager. You get a planner. Yes, you have to pay them, but listen to where I'm going to where I'm coming back to. You get goods. You know what I mean? You get trucks. And what happened now? The trucks start to move. The managers start to make things work. Whatever. And what happened? The building stay strong. The rent, the lease, and everything started to pay because everything is moving in the surrounding. Things are working in the surrounding. All because of what you get the resources in. You pull the resources in so that the building could stay alive. Look at yourself as the building. Let me say it again. Look at yourself as the building. So if you look at yourself as the building, get in the managers, get in the resources, and you make sure the resources them are okay with whatever you can do to offer. No, you're not going to live your life forever like this. But you know what can happen? You can get to somewhere. You can get to a place in your life to where you can now pay or buy a real building for this time, sit back and flood it with all the necessary stuff that you know the building need, and you just relax and watch things flow. Why you think managers get paid? Why you think they go to school? They go to school because they want to get hired to be a manager. They go to school because they want to get hired to be an accountant. They go to school because so you are the person now that is going to carry in these people to work for you. You don't have to leave from school with this. Just have a plan. Have a plan and hire who you need. You will get time to educate yourself to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? Partner with someone that know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And take it from there. So you don't have to hold yourself back because you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot do this. Sometimes some of you guys have some girl that is extremely intelligent. Use them. Use them because they're there for you most of the time. No, you know the type of girl that I'm talking about. Don't mix it up with it. Don't mix up this type of girl thing that I'm talking about. Don't mix it with whatever you choose to like. We're talking about the ones that find you interested, like you, and you know their background is strong enough. Be there. Do what you need to do. Don't hold yourself back or hold yourself down. You know what I mean? Still haven't get to my point as yet. But you know what? I don't want this video to be too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you to think about this, and let's talk about everything that I've just mentioned in the description. Tell me what you think about this message. Tell me what you think. I am going to follow up with a video because I want to look at the comments and I want to come back again with my point that I'm trying to get to. This is going to be a part 2 of this video. Why I'm doing this? I'm going hard for this new year. So I want to have more videos. I could easily tell you guys the point that I'm getting to. But nevertheless, please leave me your thoughts. Leave me your comment. And make sure you put some like on this video. You know what I mean? And tell me if you agree with me or not. You know what I mean? And let's continue. Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy TroyStarz Trucking. And I can't tell you guys thanks enough for the support. Anyway, peace. Respect.
For more videos like this, please subscribe.